Hi, my name is Laura Mai, and today I'm going to be telling you how to make double the content in half the time. And this method is a combination of some of my favorite marketers' different methods of content strategy. I found that it works pretty fast for me, so you can let me know how it's like if you try it. The people that I'm combining are Rory Vaden's method, which is like the diamond content method, and he does personal branding for people like Ed Milet, Lewis Howes. Then you've got some of Joseph S. Kahn's stuff, and Joseph S. Kahn is like an SEO guru. He's been on my podcast a few times, actually. I call it a podcast. It's really just YouTube interviews. I don't really do the audio thing. It's not for me. But Joseph S. Kahn has scaled companies to millions of dollars. He's an SEO genius. He has been in the game for like 30 years, and I've been so lucky to learn so much from him about SEO kind of stuff. And then lastly, we have Luke Matthews, he's huge on LinkedIn, and he's really good at leveraging AI and copywriting. And some of this also has elements of things that Alex Hormozzi said about reusing content, but I'm gonna kind of mix in some of my own stuff around data so that way you can pinpoint what stuff to reuse. All right, so there are gonna be 7 steps in this, and let's get into it. So the first step is you want to research and plan your content, right? Because I see a lot of people when they first start doing content, and this was me as well, like totally was me, is still sometimes me. We're all learning here. But say the target's over here and you're like throwing the knife this way. And something that I learned from some of my favorite marketing people has kind of helped me throw more knives in this direction, even if sometimes it hits the target. So research and planning is helpful in terms of creating content. I would say it's not as important as packaging in terms of like the actual outcome, but it's still important, and it'll make things a lot easier for you in terms of planning. So the first thing that I would do, and this step actually requires a few programs, but I believe most of them are free. So you're going to need a Copilot with Microsoft. It's a lot like ChatGPT, but it's free. And then perplexity.ai. And then you're also going to want to use VidIQ or some other SEO tool. I would say Keywords Everywhere is a good one as well to plan your content. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is into Copilot, you're going to want to put in a prompt with your niche, with your content buckets, and ask for a matrix based on certain elements of the type of content that you want, whether that's actionable, contrarian, and it'll come up with a listicle of like different steps that you can do or different blogs that you can create, just different ideas for posts in general. And what you can do is you can keep on asking it to generate ideas from that. I will try to make up a prompt in the comments, but the one that I use the most is actually from Luke Matthews, but he sells it. So I don't feel right giving it to you, but that is basically what the prompt is. It's asking for a matrix. It's telling the Copilot your niche and then also your content bucket. And then through that, it'll come up with a matrix for you. And it's awesome for helping, brainstorm different ideas. And then what you can do is use Perplexity to then generate the different ideas. So say it's like part of the content is you are a fitness trainer who specializes in people who are postpartum. So it would be like 5 postpartum back exercises, and it'll spit out kind of instructions on how to do that. And that's just different ways that you can plan out your videos. And it really helps get closer to the target. And then, like I mentioned, the last part of that is SEO. So if you get Keywords Everywhere, which I believe when I got it, it was like $21 for the entire year, which is crazy. You can get VidIQ, which is like $200 for the year, but it'll tell you like some of the less competitive keywords in your niche. You can also use SemRush, but SemRush is like $200 a month. And I know that can be kind of expensive, but that's obviously a top of the line tool as well. All those things can kind of help you tell you what to title your content and what people are actually searching for within your niche. Okay, so now that you have your content matrix, you kind of know the direction of what people are looking for within your niche, and you have some post prepared as well, we can move on to the second step, which is making the top of your diamond content, which is a long form video. Now, to explain exactly where we're going with the diamond content method, basically I don't know why it's called a diamond. It's more of a triangle. The top is a long form video because once you have something in video, it is so easy to turn it into literally anything you want. So down here, you can turn it into a bunch of short clips using AI, and we'll get into how to do that later. Or you can turn it into graphics and blog posts, and again, we'll get into how to do that later. But the first thing you need is that long form video. And you can have quite a few topics in a long form video as well, and they can be anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes depending on what it is and what you have to say. So I am currently recording this on Riverside. I'm sure that there are other programs you can use as well. Riverside, I think it's around $15 a month, and it's not free. So I will say that. I'm sure that you could also record something on Zoom and get a transcript. I'm not exactly sure how the quality is, but for me, I use Riverside and it's worked well for me so far. I haven't felt the need to go anywhere else. And what Riverside will do when you record your entire video is on the side, it'll actually have a transcript for you afterwards, which will be very useful later on. So once you have your long video recorded on Riverside, which is step 2, we can move on to step 3, which is generating this part of the diamond triangle method. It bothers me because it doesn't make the shape of a diamond. I don't know if anyone else is like that in their head, but I'm like, okay, it's really the triangle method, Rory, love ya, but like it's a triangle method. But the shorts you can actually auto generate, and you can do that on Riverside. That'll create magic clips for you. And then there's also Opus clips that does it as well. A lot of people say that they like Opus clips the best for creating short form content. So I've never personally used it, but other people that I've talked to who I would say are even better than me at like video editing, content creation stuff, they say Opus clips gets them the best clips. But Riverside works just fine for me, or sometimes I will use CapCut because I have CapCut. CapCut, I believe they have like a 7-day free trial, but it's also only like $10 a month. So you can go on the desktop version, it'll convert long videos to shorter videos, and you can choose the length and duration as well, which is nice because I know that honestly for some of my clients, I know they say that click-through rate times watch time is what the algorithm favors, but if you are able to get people and your content is engaging enough to have someone watch through an entire 4-minute video, the algorithm is going to really reward that. And so some of my clients who create better content, who are real experts in their field, the longer videos for them do better, whereas people who are new, they'll create like 5-second videos because that's going to be the only way that they can hold someone's attention. So that is kind of how you generate short clips. I have a longer tutorial on how you can generate short clips using AI, and I will put that in like the banner thing that comes here and in the description. Okay, so once you have your long video, then you make your short form clips, then you can go on to step 4. Am I on step 4? Step 4, which is creating graphics. So this is where that transcript comes in handy, and Riverside, the good thing about Riverside is that it'll also give you a transcript for the short clips, which are like the highlight reels of your episode, but you can just scan through the transcript and find the interesting words that you use and put it into those tweet style graphics or any quote style graphic. That's so easy. Or if you want to get fancy, you can AI generate some cartoons or images from the words that you have already said in your long form video. The ideas are already there. You just need to like drop it into a tweet style format, a quote style format. Like Gary Vee is really good at this. I don't know if he's using the long term form method, but all of his quotes, he puts them in a bunch of different formats, and it gives them a lot of different kind of styles and reach, which is awesome. And so after you have created your quotes, your graphics, whatever it is, and if you want to create more graphics, what I would do is, a lot of people use Midjourney, but I honestly just use Canva just because I don't want a bunch of different software, and Canva does it just fine. It has like a magic AI creator, like you type in what you want and it comes up. You need to play around with it a little bit, but I'll put here some of the things that I've been able to create on Canva, being someone who really, I'm not the most artistic when it comes to actually sketching things out and drawing them. But that is kind of how you can go about making graphics. Now, once you make the graphics and some of like the shorter form written content, Oh, maybe this is the last point. Guys, I'm so sorry, Rory. So this last point down here is where you can do like blog posts, longer stuff. And again, like you can take those original listicles that you had in the beginning from Perplexity, or you can just like take ideas directly from your video, and you can use things like Surfer. You can use different AI programs to, let's say, you have an idea. What you can do is you can put that idea into Copilot and ask it to write you something, or Perplexity and ask it to write you a full-on blog article. And then what you can do is you can take that and you can put it into this program called Surfer. I believe Surfer has a free trial, but I'm not exactly sure how much it is. So when you put it into Surfer, it will actually humanize the AI, so that way search engines and stuff can't detect it, and that way you can get more of the keywords that you want for your website, for your YouTube, whatever, well, I guess you don't put blogs on YouTube. For your website, you can get more of the SEO kind of words in there for that, which is awesome. Surfer also will suggest you keywords, which I keep on saying things. I'm like, I love technology, because honestly, think about how long this would take me otherwise. And the last thing that you can also do, this is kind of a bonus tip before we get on to posting and data, is you can use, what is it called? SuperGrow AI to create more like LinkedIn copy. So once you have those social clips or those blogs and you want to post about them, you can literally take that text, put it into SuperGrow, and it'll make it algorithm friendly copy. And I believe that there's a 7-day free trial of this as well if you just want to test it out and see how it goes. Okay, so now I think we're on step 6. If I mess up the numbers, I'm just gonna put the right ones on the screen, and I'm so sorry. But okay, so step 6 is we will do a post schedule. So once you have all those clips done, it's really easy just to batch it out on, say, like a Monday and schedule it out for the week. Some people do like posting on the day, and I do that for some of my clients just because with their brands I need to be extra careful. But for my own stuff, a lot of times I'll just bash it out and I'll post it all, so that way I don't have to worry about my own content throughout the week. So definitely posting out stuff is really helpful, especially once you have everything created. And then the last step that I do is I use a data tracking sheet. And the reason that I do this is, this would be step 7, step 8, wherever I'm at. So the reason that I do this is because this allows me to see what got me the most reach throughout the week. And so if there is something that someone really resonated with on a different platform, and I mostly track impressions, even though not all views are created equal, right? I mostly track impressions to figure out what people actually like to hear about, like to talk about, sort of thing. So when those impressions come in and when I know those numbers, then what you can do eventually, like let's say like every 3 months or so, you can go through all the content that you created in the last 3 months, and you can see, okay, this is what performed well, this is what performed well, this is what performed well. Like these topics people seem to be interested in, and people don't change that much, honestly, and they need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. That's something from Alex Hormozi. That's why I kind of mentioned him in the beginning. But if you just create a longer form video with all of those top topics, that video will perform better because it'll have things that people are actually interested in. Like the things that got you reach in the first place are because there are more common problems and will reach more people. So that is kind of how you can create double the content in half the time. This will generate you so many posts, and you can spread them out for a while. So as long as you have the planning, as long as you have some AI tools, I know that I've listed a lot throughout this video. I will put a full resource guide in the description with the tools that I mentioned. But once you have those resources, again, double the content in half the time, and it looks good. These tools humanize it, and you can just bang out content, generate more leads, get better at your socials, whatever your goal really is, you can do that. And this is just a way to make it easier to show your expertise. If you have specific questions about your content and the methods that you want to use, or any questions about these programs, let me know in the comments below, and I will be very specific in my answers to you. I want to help you. I'm always rooting for you, and yeah, hope you have a good day. Cheers!